Hey, lovely day. Fall is in the air here in Seattle, and it is remarkably sunny. But we're back with another question. Hey Alex, hope you're doing well. Sly Dragon from the UK here. How's it going, Sly Dragon? Though I used to go by the moniker Clubsoft back in the day, I used to be quite involved with the homebrew game dev scene back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I was fortunate enough to meet a lot of wonderful people back then, including a few that have gone on to find their places in the music biz. Josh Welchel being one such example. Josh is a good friend and has published the Jazz Jackrabbit scores a while ago. They are not currently still available yet. That's an era I hold very dear still, and part of the reason I fell quite so much in love with a lot of your work, thank you, and a number of the fantastically skilled tracker demo scene artists of the time, Purple Motion, Andrew Sega, Vert, Beak, to name but a few, all great. It's something that still to this day hits me in that delightful, goosebump-inducing, emotionally hard-hitting way that very little else music-wise quite does, and remains very earwormy. The number of times I catch myself humming along to Jazz 2's Streetwise and that delicious sampling of Dope for Your Mind is still a weekly occurrence. That's great. That's fantastic. My question for you is as follows. You've obviously worked on a very wide-ranging collection of moods, genres, briefs during your tenure, but is there any specific genre, feel, or brief that gets you most excited to start work on a project? Following on from this, do you still feel there's room in the modern world to be able to flex that creative side and have the freedom to work on and author such a wide variety of tracks these days, given quite a few projects shy away from the world of clean cut and very differently themed levels, as used to be prevalent with, say, 2D platformers? Absolutely correct. And perhaps focus more towards a single coherent adapting background soundscape that focuses more on the sound engineering side rather than purely on musicality. Well, quite a lot of stuff here. But let's go to the question. Genre, feel, or brief that gets me most excited. I'd really like to work on a mech game. Never worked on a mech game. Would love to. I was a big fan of the Mech Warrior series back in the day. Would love to work on a Metroidvania game of almost any type. So those get me quite excited. Something that is very deep for first person. It's hard to come up with really new multiplayer ideas that don't follow the usual MOBA format, right? The stuff that's already been done. So those come to mind. I also like Castlevania stuff. Work on a Castlevania game would be huge. And I love the kind of JRPG elements in things like Crosscode and the newer released Alabaster Dawn. So those are kind of where my head's at the moment. But it really depends. As a kid, I used to get excited about things like Epic's Olympic Games stuff. So many different genres would make many people feel excited because of how new they felt just in general. The crows are having quite a time. I'm sure you can hear them. So do I feel there's room in the modern world to be able to flex that creative side? And hello. And author such a wide variety of tracks? Sure. I think there's, I think all you got to do is look a little bit and you'll find some platformers that have a wide variety of stuff. So yeah, I think there's quite a few things that end up doing that. So Sly Dragon, really appreciate the question, and I'll see you on the next one.